You not really trying to dismantle the system. You just fucking pissed that you're not winning in it. Happy 2026. Happy 2026, y'all. So, putting things into perspective, I'm grateful for 2025, the way that I showed up for myself. I put some fucking respect on my name, and I appreciate that. So for all of you catching this on the playback, I'm saying this to you to say that, the self-abandonment that I have done throughout my life, the way that I've allowed people to manipulate me and exploit, my good nature, my integrity, just so that I can remain having friends or that I didn't feel lonely. I betrayed myself. And it almost became like a demand for me to betray myself to maintain certain relationships. And so when it comes down to it, I start to see that as a pattern. I start to see a pattern of people asking you to self-betray in order to maintain proximity to them. People asking you to self-betray in order for them to really fuck with you heavy. And I don't fuck with that anymore. I refuse to fuck with that anymore. And I noticed that that's what a lot of Black women are being asked to do. Betray yourself. Betray yourself for love. Betray yourself for the community. Betray yourself for this, for that, for that, for that. At some point, it's like, bro, y'all just being some goddamn parasites. And I start to see the pattern, and maybe a lot of women around me did not see the pattern, or they didn't have the courage to go against the status quo. But when I made the decision in my life to go against the status quo, I understood that meant that I was going to be by myself more. Okay. That I was going to be ostracized a little bit more. That people was going to talk shit. Okay. That people was going to criticize me. But I chose me. And guess what? I'm a better woman for it. More abundance, more light in my life, more feeling of stability, more self-happiness, more choosing individuals and people around me that are going to add value and not just come to take, because now I don't betray myself. When I signed up to be a pro-Black woman, I assumed that this meant that I would be able to have a voice. I would be able to openly love and support Black men, and I would get that same love and support in return. But that isn't actually how it goes. It's a bit more nuanced than that. So aside from us learning about our history and reclaiming our power and, understanding things outside the patriarchy, one hypocritical factor that I noticed within this whole thing is Black men vehemently cling to patriarchy, which is very white, very colonizing, very male-centered, and very misogynistic. They talk about white zaddy all day long. But if the point proven of 20% of them, a rise in 20% of young Black men voting for Trump, look at the disaster that this man has done over the year, stripping Black women of job opportunities that they very well qualify for, putting white male mediocrity back at the forefront with a twist of, we're going to give you religious oppression and gender oppression. We're going to tell you who you can screw. We're going to tell you what to do with your body. We're going to tell you who you are and where you rank socially, and you're going to accept it. So when you look at where they align themselves over time, you see that the Black man will have a tendency to gravitate towards white male ideologies. So I started to think to myself, what does this mean? Are they clueless? How you doing, Alicia? Make sure you comment. Make sure you share this. Are Black men clueless about white men's true intentions? They are not clueless at all. A lot of Black men secretly hope to partner with white men to get the supremacy and dominance that they have been locked out of for centuries. And will they admit that to you, Black queens? Absolutely the fuck not. This is why you must be perceptive and read between the lines. when I paid attention to the voting patterns, I had to say to myself, now ain't that some shit? Listen, Dr. Umar, I vaguely recall seeing this Cash App pimping, uh doctor scamming ass buffoon promoting Trump in the last election, but then turned right around and vehemently, and rightfully so, slammed Nicki Minaj for her coon bopping with TPUSA and Erica Kirk. He rightfully dragged her and exposed her, but nigga, you was promoting Trump too. You was promoting Trump too. So it begs the question, how did all these conscious black men become pawns for right-wing supremacy? And it starts with Kevin Samuels. It starts with Kevin Samuels. Many of you on the playback, please perk up your ears. When Kevin Samuels came on the scene, his whole premise was none of the shit he was doing when in 2020. What he came to do is he came to reshape the black communities in the white male's image. Now, am I saying that we didn't have dysfunction and disorder and we needed a new way of doing things? We did. But did we need the colonizers' way of doing things? Not necessarily. But he promoted that. And it was something that resonated with black men heavily. They enjoyed watching Kevin Samuels shame black women on TV. They got a kink off. They got off on that. This was very kinky for them. Okay. It made them very horny for humiliation rituals towards black women. It is very sexually gratifying for them. These are other nuances that you need to realize. Humiliating women, these niggas get off on that shit. Humiliating women, I don't know if they mama slapped the shit out of them when they was a little boy and they felt emasculated, and as a result, they have to live their life terrorizing women. But whatever the case may be, that's one of their kinks. They get off on that shit. So Kevin Samuels came to kind of push the ideology of the nuclear family. Little did we know that this comes from far-right Christian nationalists, white supremacist ideologies, where they're now trying to suppress the votes of women and say that there's supposed to be one vote per household. And to consider it a household, you must be married to the man. The man must own land. The man must be a Christian. I don't know how the fuck you verify them being a Christian. And that shouldn't even be in part of our conversation because it's really none of your motherfucking business what type of religion a person want to have. But I digress. This is what people from like the Heritage Foundation, which I truly believe is a KKK front, Project 2025, all that bullshit. How did this type of ideology get in the hands of black men? Podcasting. They won't go to a psychologist. They won't go to a therapist. No. Licensed professionals with credentials. They'll go to a nigga who got a mic jammed down his goddamn throat because that's what they gravitate to. Loud, obnoxious, rule bending. You know, the rule was you don't talk to no strong black women like that. You respect the strong black. So they had a quiet resentment growing. And I don't care what they say. Baby, I'm telling you the truth. Okay. They had a quiet resentment growing for black women. You know, the black woman excellence, black woman, black girl magic. Oh, they hated that shit with a passion. Okay. So when Kevin Samuels was doing the humiliation rituals, it was like so taboo because it was like, yes, this is the thing that we really, really want to do. We really wanted to put you bitches back in your places. You was getting too out of hand, so on and so forth. I'm not saying that all these black women that were, a lot of them was just minding their business. You know, some of them was doing it to flex on black men, but a lot of us just minding our business. Well, listen, we're not going to sit and wait for you to stop being a degenerate to have a positive impact on us to move forward with our life. We're not going to wait for that. If you want to be sexually depraved, if you want to fucking fuck everything moving and drink yourself into cirrhosis of the liver and smoke until your eyes is fucking red and purple and destroy yourself, then you have the right to do that. Okay? You have the right to do that. Meanwhile, if I want to fucking go to school, bitch, and I want to graduate and I want to go out and I want to get a good job and I want to assimilate into the system, as you say, and I want to buy things. But see, when you see me assimilating into the system and succeeding, you're mad as a bitch, right? But I'm assimilating in the system trying to throw shade, right? Okay. But you mad as a bitch that I'm succeeding in this said system, right? Okay. But why you mad though? If it's a system, if it ain't shit, then you shouldn't care. You should be somewhere, building a shea butter empire, nigga. The fuck? Let's talk about it. Why you so mad when I'm doing well in the system that you say ain't shit? Oh, you say because you permanently locked out of it. Right. But if you was doing well in it, you wouldn't have shit to say. And that's how I know they cap. Because see, when they thought that they was going to get elevated in the system, that is when they showed their true colors. When they thought that they was going to get elevated in the system, that is when they showed their true colors. Oh, they was talking cash money shit. Big shit. Went out and voted for Trump and all that. And then now that Trump shows that his agenda is white supremacists, more so, not even just white supremacists, because white folks, hold your horses. He's not talking about your broke ass. He's talking about the elite white rich people. So now that we know the real play, y'all got played again, 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 again and again, as Drake would say. He played the fuck out of y'all. He played y'all like a fiddle, a goofy. He didn't even present a platinum plan. All he told you is that you was going to get a manufacturing job and some pussy, and you niggas ran. All he did was shove some lame dweebs of black men in front of you with mics lodged down their throat, spouting out goddamn faux psychology about how the relationship of men and women is supposed to be based on their egoic delusions of grandeur. And what they decided a relationship should be with no real backing. Then they decided, oh, it's going to be Christianity. Then we got to talking about y'all degenerate behavior. And then all of a sudden that becomes no longer a point of contention either. Now it's, oh, wait a second. You should be more accepting of cheating. No, bitch, I'm never going to forget the messaging wars, the things y'all said, because this is what's be to the back of y'all mind. This is what be on the back of their mind. So it was an all out war on black women's autonomy, bodily autonomy, mental autonomy. And we saw that when you got a taste of being prioritized in the system, what a bunch of fucking assholes, right? And you went there and you sided with white supremacy under the guise of thinking that you was going to get yourself a blue collar dream. Okay. A blue collar dream. And it wasn't even about you having a wife. It was about you having a bang maid and a servant, and being able to also screw whoever you wanted. So you just want your goddamn cake and eat it too. You also want your syphilis and eat it too. Okay, bitch, you want your herpes and eat it too. Y'all some nasty motherfuckers. Okay. You're going to be out here, itching and burning. You don't care about that. Small things. Take a pill and keep on humping. Right? Absolutely disgusting. But the point that I'm making to y'all is that we got an opportunity to see how they act when they get a piece of the system. So now that we know that, why are y'all so turned against the system? Because it's not working for you. The only issue is that they care about is that it's not working for them. When I peeped that, I was like, oh, now I see the play. And that's why I abandoned ideals of building a better system, because every time I listen to a majority of them talk in circles, talk about these different talking points, talk about how they are oppressed, talk about how they're the victim, I started to realize that it was just a looping conversation that was very circular, with no end in sight, with no plan of action, just simply them spouting off how they deserve more in this society. And being a woman trying to be compassionate about that, I abandoned myself to really didn't have a plan. You were just simply talking out the side of your neck because it made you feel okay with you not being very productive, useful, or even successful, or even progressing in the society. So you just was talking out the side of your ass, if we keeping it a bando. See, when I signed up to be a pro-black woman, I did not know that it came with a side of seeing them as a victim always. And I illustrated everything I just told y'all because I want y'all to know that the shit they saying is nothing more than a smokescreen, a dog whistle. A lot of them ain't serious. All they know is that it is a way to basically make you lower your expectations, lower your standards, lower what you expect of them as men. That includes and is not limited to their sexual discipline. That includes and is not limited to their mental and their emotional state and stability. You're not supposed to have much of an expectation on them at all. You really just supposed to be happy that you got a man, and that's it. And it's sad that we as Black women have been forced to see it that way. Like we're so goddamn unworthy. We're so goddamn unworthy that, oh, you got a man, so you should just be happy. But nobody talks about that. The thing that with me, when it comes to Black men, is they just automatically, no, we didn't do it. That's why they had the same visceral reaction with Diddy. Even though we seen Diddy kicking motherfucking Cassie down the hallway like a fucking soccer ball, we still got to have these abundantly irritating mental gymnastics and conversations to place Black men in the role of being a victim. This is what being a pro-Black woman means. No matter what niggas do, no matter how deplorable, degenerate, or harmful, we still gotta call them the victim. Maybe these bitches are just getting the consequences of their actions. Maybe fucking Diddy should keep his nasty ass, freaky ass, sperm-filled hands to his motherfucking self. Okay? Maybe that was the problem. Even with Cassie benefiting from Diddy, and even with her being complicit in his bullshit, niggas know how fucking manipulative they are. They will go ahead and groom a bitch to the high heavens. Okay? And so no matter what, it seems to me that you have to accept them also as the eternal victim. See, when Black men were being victimized, I was willing to be their biggest fucking cheerleader, as well as their biggest supporter, and even in some cases put my ass on the line. But you think that we would have Black women ever seen that type of large amount of support from Black men in return? I'll wait. Have you seen it? Maybe 1 or 2, 3 or 4. They don't feel the same way we feel about them. And I'm very proud of Black women for recognizing that. And that's why bitches keeping their legs closed. Because for real, that's why the birth rate is down. When you sign up to be a pro-Black woman, you're signing up to see them as a victim. Ain't no fucking way you got a justification for Diddy. Diddy? Really? The justification for Tory, weak, not strong. It's like, it's kind of could go 50-50, but they don't allow themselves to think that. In their mind, if it's a Black man, a Black woman should cover up his transgressions no matter what it does to her. And I'm sorry, I didn't sign up for that. And I don't know why the fuck they think that, but that's not what I signed up for.